What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, O'Shane, here with another version, another setting, another day on the Yard Podcast. Excuse me. You know, honestly, I think the way the system set up is set up for us to stay stagnant, right? So, what I mean by that is if you look at the system, it's definitely put in a position where only a certain few should be millionaires because there are way more 9 to 5 workers than there are millionaires, right? You know, they say that somebody has to be at the top, right? And if you look at it, 9 to 5 is set up so that you cannot or you shouldn't be able to become successful. You shouldn't be able to invest in yourself. You should not be able to retire and still be in your youth, or at least be in your youth and enjoy your wealth, right? The way the system is set up for you to work, and basically have no time for yourself because retirement age is set for 65. So by the time you're 65, most most people are ready to just sit back and just relax, and not do anything because they're tired. You've been working from say you're 20 until you're 65. It's 45 years. It was work, just pure work. So the the mindset has to switch, right? The mindset has to switch, and the only way the mindset switches is by you taking it one day at a time. And I think a lot of times with us, we try to go for the home run, we try to go for the 3-point shot, we try to go big right away instead of taking gradual steps little by little by little and try to chip away at it while we're doing our 9 to 5 to get to where we're not so dependent on our 9 to 5s, right? And you need people around you. That's the problem. A lot of times I feel people don't always be as successful as they can be. I'm not going to say should be because I don't know what should or shouldn't be, but as they could be, right? Because if you look at most successful people, they have someone beside them, somebody pushing them, somebody saying, yo, go get it. And it helps them to move further along, right? In this day and age, you have to invest in yourself. Self-investment is the most important thing. So before you get a team or before you have people to believe in you, it starts within you to say, instead of one day, say today's day one, right? And I don't think a lot of people have that motivation because you get off work from working 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, sometimes 16. If you're a nurse, if you're in the nursing field like I am, sometimes you're working 16 hours. And by the time you get off, you're not even trying to do nothing but sleep. You can't. You just go home, wash your ass, and go to sleep. Some people don't ever get to eat properly. And that's where a lot of our downfall is because we work. And we're saying, man, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to invest in myself in this way. And then that one day never comes. And then boom, you look at it, you're 30, boom, you look at it, you're 40, boom, you look at it, you're 50, 60, and et cetera, right? So you have to be able to set aside time for yourself, to invest in yourself. That is the most important thing. Find another side hustle. Find a hobby that you can potentially turn into a side hustle. There are people out here that love sports, as I do. You can train kids only if you know how to do it. Don't do something that you know you're not good at. Whatever your niche is that you're good at, use that to make money. Use that to invest in yourself so that you're not waiting until you're 65 to say, all right, now I can enjoy myself. Because as I stated before, by the time you reach those age, you're not trying to do nothing but sit back in the freaking rocking chair and chill. Right? So, how do you go about investing in yourself? Writing things down. I think a lot of that has gone and disappeared. People don't write things down anymore. And we all don't have the memory as, say, the late, great Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, where, as far as I've known, they said that he never really written down any of his lyrics. Everything came off the dome. It was always spitting. He heard something, he sat there in the booth and recorded it right then and there. Not everybody has the capability to be able to absorb certain information and be able to then put that out. Some people cannot do that. Most people can't do that. Most people I know cannot retain information in that manner, in that fashion. They cannot. They hear something 1 second and then boom, they forgot. They walk down the block, they forgot. Damn, what was I just talking about? Who was that? Right then and there. So the first thing is write it down, no matter what it is. Some people might look at it as stupid, the plan or the idea that you have. But write it down. That's the first step. Writing it down. And then at least now, you know it's there. And the way you know it's there, step 2, put it somewhere that you are going to see it every day. If you have a car, put it in your car, on your dashboard, or wherever, on your radio, in your bedroom, put it on the back of your door, in your washroom when you go to take a leak, when you go bathe, don't brush your teeth, put it on the mirror. Put it somewhere where you are going to see it repetitively. And it's going to be in your thoughts, in your mind, right? And you could also incorporate letting that be the last thing you see before you go to bed at night. Some people might want to put it on the roof so that when they go to sleep or when they're lying down, the first thing they do when they look up, they see it right there on the roof. You can see it there. So put it somewhere where it's going to be a reminder every single day, right? So that's step 1, to write it down so it can be a reminder. Step 2, you have to now find things that you can use in this profession or this side hustle or this niche that you're trying to take up, right? And the way you go about that is, what is it that the niche that you like to do? For me, I'm going to use sports. I love basketball. I love real football, but here in America they call it soccer, but I love real football. So what I like to do, right? I watch the games. I play the game. I enjoy the game. I eat, sleep, and breathe these games. I know the game. So I can sit here and I will debate with anybody about any basketball, whether who's the GOAT or stats and things of that nature. Same thing with football, aka soccer. I can sit here and I can debate who's the best player, who's this, and who's. I can go on and on about that. So that's step 2. Become familiar with the niche that you are trying to pursue. Study upon it. The internet, our phones, is in our hands 24/7. You can easily look something up. Go on Google or Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine you use. Research. Research, research, research. Research is the key to success. You have to have knowledge of what you are trying to do. You cannot just go all right, I'm going to do it this way. No, no, no. Research, research, so you can have some kind of information of what you want to pursue, right? So, step 1, write it down. Step 2, research. The third step is this. This might fall into research as well. You can find like-minded people. Somebody that might be interested in the things that you're doing, whether it be sports, whether it be investments, whatever it is. Find somebody that is proficient at what you want to become good at. Find that person. Whether you want to make them your mentor or however you want to categorize that person. But find somebody that you can, squeeze some information out of them, right? When you find that person, you now have to become, for lack of a better term, annoying to that person. Let them know, I am interested in this. I want this. I want this. I need this in my life. Once that becomes an obsession to you and that person sees that, majority of the time, it then starts to, what's the word? Like it starts to spread, right? And people start to see it and people start to feel it like, man, he's really going about this really, really hard. Maybe he's really or she's really interested in this, right? So you become so annoying to this person that they're going to be like, dang, all right, finally, okay, let me show you. Then they're going to just keep feeding you information because now they see that you're really engaged and you're really trying to do something with this, right? And it might be a little bit difficult depending on the field that you are trying to pursue on whom to try to obtain information from or how to get in contact with this person. But a lot of us try to shoot for the stars, meaning, they want to go for the person that's already at the top. Nothing wrong with that. You want to shoot for the top, by all means, go ahead. But sometimes you can start at the lowest level and find somebody and then use that person to gradually build yourself. You don't always have to shoot directly to the number one person because trying to get to that number one person in the field that you're trying to pursue, you have to understand that there's a lot of people that's trying to get to that person as well. So it's not going to be only you trying to get this information out of this person. There's hundreds and thousands of people that are trying to seek the same information that you're seeking. And they might be going at it 10 times harder than you are. When for you might just be going at it once a day, once a month, once a year, whatever. This person could be trying to get at this person 5-6 times a day, emailing, calling, posting stuff on internet, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of these different social media platforms that people can use to try to reach out to people. And, social media has become so direct now that you can jump into somebody's DM and sometimes they might respond. That person might open up their phone and look in their DM and say, oh, who is this person? Sometimes that works. Sometimes it does. But I think you have to take steps, right? Take gradual steps. Not everybody can automatically shoot for the stars and boom, they make it. You have to be able to take steps because you might shoot for it and that might be your only shot. And now you have to start back from ground zero. But that's not a bad thing. Starting over doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that you're now starting over with knowledge, right? So, as I stated before, take steps. Step 1, write it down. Step 2, gather information. Step 3, find a mentor or a person that you can now take these information out of. Step 4. How much work are you willing to put in by yourself to make yourself better at this niche that you are trying to now use to make additional income? How much work? 1 hour, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 week, 1 month? How many times a day, once a day, twice a day, are you willing to invest in yourself? Because this is an investment so that you can do things for your family. So that if you have children, you can pass it down to them. So you have to look at it in the sense of you're not only doing it for you, you're doing it for your offsprings and their offsprings and so forth, right? Whenever people think about investments, a smart person think about it in the long run. Yes, we all want that quick, right away money, that quick, right away wealth. We all would like to wake up and have $100 million sitting in our accounts so that we're able to do whatever, go wherever, buy whatever we want. We all want that. That's normal. That's you. That's just being a human being, no matter who you are. You want to be able to have accessible funds at any given time, no matter what. Normal, right? So we all are not going to hit the lottery. We're not. We're not going to all go to the lottery, the gas station, and get the 6 numbers, 5 numbers, whatever, and then boom, now you're a millionaire. Not all of us is going to get that call. Some do and some don't, right? So you have to be willing to put in the work. It's similar to somebody going to the gym and doing the bench press, right? And they're thinking, oh man, I'm doing this. And they look in the mirror the next day, and they say to themselves, well, how come my chest is not formed yet? So now they're, a little bit down. They feel discouraged. But people forget that it takes time. You have to put in the work. It's not going to happen overnight. So now, 1 week passes. You still don't see no results. 2 weeks passes. Still don't see no results. A month passes. Now you start to see something. You start to see, oh, okay, I see a little bit of definition. But also, in order for you, now this is just talking about working on your chest, in order for you to see the pecs that you want to see, you have to eat right. You have to exercise daily. You have to do other things that can affect the upper body. It's not just doing bench press, right? You have to do other things that's going to affect that. Lifting, curling, push-ups, everything is leading to that muscle. You have to do other things to help contribute to that muscle. It's not just, I'm just going to do chest. You have to do other things to contribute to that, right? So it's the same thing as investing in yourself. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be able to be Steph Curry, be in the gym 5-6 hours a day, just shooting, perfecting your shot. And I think a lot of times when people see people that is already at that height and they think, oh man, I can do that. Yeah, no, you cannot. That man has been in that gym for years, putting in that work, putting in work after work after work. I've seen this man in person, and the stuff that he does is ridiculous. And I'm talking about Steph Curry. The stuff that he does is ridiculous. So, how much work are you willing to put in? Right? How much work are you willing to put in? And the last step, number 5. You have to be willing to understand that you are going to get knocked down. Have to come to accept that. There's going to come a time where you're going to get knocked down and you're going to be told, no, you cannot do this. This is not possible. is going to happen. You're going to have negativity in your life. This is what it is. This is the world that we have succumbed to. This is the world that we've been living in. Negativity is a part of this world. It sucks, but it is, right? But you use that. You use that being knocked down and learn from it and say, why did I get knocked down? What caused this? How can I adjust? What do I need to do better? Did I forget to cross my I's and cross my T's and dot my I's? Did I forget to do that? Start questioning everything. You look at it because it goes back to step one, writing it down, right? Everything you recorded, whether it be a video, paper, write it down. Okay? So, self-investment. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. Nobody's going to invest in you unless, you just happen to be born into a wealthy family and they automatically are trying to groom you into becoming the next head of a state, right? But majority of us, we have to be willing to invest in ourselves. And I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged, is that they don't have the following or they don't have the support that is needed for them to reach certain heights. And being discouraged, it can cause a lot of hurt, because now you're going to be questioning whether or not this is something for me. Can I do this? Should I just stick to my 9 to 5, just wake up, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning and go work and come back home by 6, 7 o'clock? And for some people, that's okay. I'm not going to sit here and judge you and say, don't do your 9 to 5. No, I would never, by all means, make your money. But you don't want to be stagnant. You want to become wealthy. And wealth is not only just the millions of dollars. Wealth is being able to do what you want when you want to. Wealth is being happy. Wealth is being healthy. Wealth is having positivity around you. Wealth is having a beautiful family around you. So wealth comes for everyone in different forms. For some people, as I stated before, it's the money, which we all want the millions. We all do. We all wake up, say, hey, like I stated before, we want that $100 million. But in order for you to get that $100 million, you got to have a $100 million mindset. And you got to have a $100 million work ethic. You can't just have one without the other. It's kind of similar to people that pray but don't work. You have to be willing to do both. You cannot do one without the other. It goes together. You cannot cook a meal without the utensils, right? So in order for you to be successful and get out of this rat race that we are being forced into by the upper, you have to invest in yourself. Self-investment is very important. It is the most important thing you can do for yourself and for your family. Invest in yourself. You do not want years and years to pass by and you still haven't put yourself in a position to better yourself, so that you're not waiting until you're 65 to enjoy it, right? So self-investment. I stay blessed, never stressed, and I don't know. Your advice. Bullet. Already bomba clap.